My name is Shaun Hamilton, and I want to tell you about my journey to mastery and what my field of interest is. I also want to tell you about the person that I desire to become in order to gain that level of mastery that I wish to attain. But first things first, my field of interest is storytelling. But not just any type of storytelling, I want to be a groundbreaking storyteller. One that has true mastery over the emotions of my audience. Now I know that in order to do this, I'm going to have to become someone who has a true level of authenticity and vulnerability. And the reason I know this is because I was raised by a family who owned and operated a murder mystery dinner theater. And so I got to see firsthand the process that my dad would go through when he was bringing his stories and ideas to life, and the profound impact that that would have on the audiences that got to experience them. Now, at this point in my life, I've really had to do a deep dive into the next 5, 10, 20 years of my life and ask myself, what do I really want to get out of those years? And Robert Greene said, in order to master a field, we must truly love the subject and have a profound connection to it. And so when I return to my origins and I ask myself, when am I truly happy? It's when I'm telling stories. Now, I have, at some parts of my life, struggled and been seduced onto the wrong or false path by money or this kind of lure of stability. I mean, just a few years ago, I was chasing money in the insurance business and I was miserable. I just couldn't find the same level of fulfillment and satisfaction that I had when I was spending most of my time focused on being creative. And so I would, as Robert put it, rebel against the forces that were pushing me away from my true path. Now I am really fortunate now to have found the perfect niche. All of my life experience and skill sets that I picked up along the way, be it audio engineering, film and photography, writing and public speaking, they all have a home in my life's tasks now. Now, Robert said something when he was talking about letting go of the past. He said, change is inevitable, particularly in such revolutionary moments such as ours. I couldn't agree more. This fits perfectly with my life's task because storytellers have always had a revolutionary spirit. And most often, as JFK put it, we sail against the currents of our time. And this isn't a popular role. And so this thought kind of forces me to go back to a time where I just didn't care so much about what people thought of me or what I had to say. I just said it with heart and conviction. And Robert reminds us that we will be assailed with varieties of hidden pain if we start to deviate from our path. Now I know that a part of my skill set that I said earlier was music production. And it's really been a part of my life for as long as I can remember. That doesn't really tell the whole story. So I have produced a couple of my own albums and I started playing a bunch of shows. And for the longest time, I thought this was what I was supposed to be doing. But that was until I found myself in a high school art class, sitting with a whole bunch of students, talking to them about why I had written one of these songs. And this song in particular covers a really intense subject matter. And we started having really deep conversations, very in depth, and establishing all kinds of just deep personal connections throughout the day with a bunch of different students. And something hit me. This is what I wanted to be doing. This is what I was supposed to be doing. Not chasing money and fame, but chasing making authentic connections that make differences in people's lives. So I did a hard pivot. I stopped pursuing music in terms of kind of the performance aspect, and I started really focusing on the power of the story that my music is telling. And my dream career is one where I get to use art and music to really make a difference in people's lives, change them for the better. One where I get to, through storytelling, address some of the toughest issues that humanity is facing. Now, 2 personal goals that I can set within the next 3 weeks is that I'm going to write the TED Talk that I'm going to deliver in the fall at TEDx Seattle. And I'm going to also finish up and polish off the song that is going to accompany that TED Talk. Now I know that I can get this done, and I know that in doing so, I will be well on my way to my journey to mastery and to my dream career. Thank you.